Hi, Oddings. It's Rossi Sapphire. Welcome to Something Scary Fan Hour. Ooh, my internet connection is not great. That's fine. How is everyone doing on this fine Wednesday? I apologize for how gross and messy my office is. I am currently in the middle of building a little vocal booth so I can record podcasts. Yeah, that's why there's a bunch of stuff around. um okay, why aren't you showing up? Oh, there you go. Okay, hi Tongheng Jang, Izzy Izza, Hannah Plays, Jam Norman, Olivia the Unicorn, Moods, Azul, LPS Giraffe, Blobfish, Taco Peg, Deathstorm, Oreo Potato Chip, Laura Mari, Natalie something. Oh, now it's too fast. Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me. So today's theme is doppelgangers. If you don't know what a doppelganger is, it is I believe it's a German word for like double. It literally means double walker. So it's like someone who looks exactly like you. Apparently, there's like a theory that everyone has at least like 7 doppelgangers in the world, which is wild to think about. So I mean, if you think about it, it makes sense. Like, there's only so many ways a face can be a face, you know what I mean? All right. So, let's get into it. Oh, hang on, let me drink some water. Turn up the sound. No, you guys can hear me fine. I see my little meter. All right. So our first story, all the stories today are coming from the No Sleep subreddit. I don't know if you guys follow that subreddit, but it's a pretty good one. Let's get some spooky duke stories. All right. Here we go. So first one is from, I have no idea what that username is, EAPATBEP. Okay. My sister Clarissa saw her first, and I thought she was effing with me. I was at home, binge watching some show on Netflix, when she walked through the front door and froze, staring at me. I glanced up at her and then back to the screen, but when she still didn't move, I looked up at her again. What? I asked. Oh, by the way, I haven't read these yet. If you guys weren't here for the last stream, I told you about Adam Sinker, who I don't think he's watching right now. He never does. It's fine. So Adam was a former student of mine, and he's currently helping me out with Something Scary. If you got an email from somethingscary@snarled.com, it's most likely from him. He manages that. He manages all the stories and forms and stuff like that. But yeah, so he found these for me to read today. Turn up the volume. It says that I'm already loud. Hang on. Let's do that. Okay. Sorry to interrupt the story for that. I just wanted to let you know that I'm also reading these blindly. So if I'm like, what? Then I'm reacting in real time with you guys. All right. Where do we leave off? I looked at her face, which had this look on it, like if someone had set the world's hardest math problem down in front of a 6-year-old. How did you get here so fast? She asked, finally walking towards the couch. I paused the show. What are you talking about? I asked. I just saw you walking down the street. I narrowed my eyebrows in confusion and adjusted the pillow that I was laying on. I have no idea what you're talking about. I haven't left the house today, I replied. Clarissa stared at me, but then she just shook her head and left the room, and I went back to my show. She didn't bring it up again, so I didn't think about it again, and I just continued living my life. For about a month, that is. Last week, she showed up at my front door. My GD front door. It was 8 a.m. on a Saturday, and I was already pretty pissed off about the fact that someone was banging on the windows that early on the weekend. I knew Clarissa wasn't going to wake up and answer the door, so I got up instead and pulled the door open in anger to reveal me. As in, I was standing outside. It wasn't me, but it was like staring into a mirror. Well, a mirror of what could be, actually. I was standing inside my house in the long black t-shirt that I slept in, which had random holes all over it. My hair was piled on top of my head, and I hadn't even washed my face yet. The person that I was looking at was a version of me that was a lot more put together. The way that I look when I go out, not at 8 in the effing morning on the weekend. She, or me, or whatever, was wearing fitted plaid pants, a whole free white t-shirt, and heels. Her hair was the same length as mine, but it was brushed and curled with 2 sections pinned away from her face. And she was wearing a wedding ring. What the hell? I finally whispered after a few minutes of shock. She smiled at me. Hi, I'm you. I'm Galilea. She held her hand out, but I didn't take it. I stared at her. She cleared her throat and glanced around. I don't know if this is a good idea, meeting you and stuff. They say it's a bad omen or whatever to see, I just heard it was bad luck to see your doppelganger, I guess. But I couldn't ignore you. I mean, you're me, and sorry, I'm rambling. I just don't know what to say. She let out a forced, nervous laugh. I didn't respond. What do you want? I asked. She took a deep breath and then scratched her nose. She was holding the car keys to a BMW in her hand. I rolled my eyes. I just wanted to get to know you. I saw you a few months ago while you were leaving a college campus. I was really shocked because you looked just like me, or I looked just like you. I don't know. Anyway, I found out who you were, which wasn't hard. I ran into a few people who thought I was you. They kept calling me Cindy. I kept working up the courage to talk to you, but I couldn't. Until now. I sighed. I was too tired for this shit, but I felt bad telling myself to leave. I decided to let her in. And she excitedly walked into the house. I didn't worry about Clarissa waking up and seeing us. She never woke up before noon on the weekend. We sat and we talked for about 2 hours. It only took about 45 minutes to hate her, though. She was everything I wasn't. She came from an incredibly wealthy family, grew up in New York City, studied abroad in London for 2 years until she met her husband, Harry. They got married and she graduated early. They had a huge fancy house about an hour from my own, big fancy cars, big fancy everything. I hated her. I hated it more when I saw how nice and considerate she was. She even offered to pay for the rest of my studies, which I declined. I wasn't going to let the more perfect, more accomplished version of me give me pity cash. Then she had her brilliant idea. I just want to get that out of the way, all right? It was her idea. She wanted to have a baby, but she couldn't get pregnant. At first, I thought she wanted me to donate my eggs to her or something, but no. She wanted me to make love with her husband. Oh no. And then let them adopt the baby. She said she would pay me $500,000. I said yes. I know what you're thinking, but listen, that was a hell of a lot of money and her husband was hot. So she quickly taught me how to fake being her, and 5 days after meeting her, we made love. That was 2 days ago. I knew I should never have agreed to it. I should have known better than to form a ridiculous plan with my more successful, more accomplished doppelganger. But I did it anyway, and now here we are. After Harry fell asleep, I quietly got out of bed and made my way to the back door where she would be waiting for me, as we planned. On my way down there, which took a while, the house is huge, I realized how stupid her plan was. What the hell was this? She was just going to get someone who looked just like her pregnant and then take the baby? How would that even work? How could she be sure that she would get my baby? It was stupid, and so was she. So on my way to the back door, I stopped by the kitchen and grabbed a giant, sharp knife. It was so easy to surprise her. I knew she would hug me, but when she did, I stabbed her. She gasped and I stabbed her again. The mess wasn't that big. I was able to drag her body into the car, which I then drove into the woods, where I buried her with my identification after stealing hers. I took the knife and washed it in a small stream, and then went back home. Harry still hasn't noticed. He loves me, and he tells me how happy he is that I'm finally pregnant. I'm not sorry. I have a better life. They haven't found the body yet, but I'm sure my sister has reported me missing by now. She was stupid, and that's not my fault. Her plan was stupid, and her decisions got her killed. She should have listened to the things she had heard. Meeting your doppelganger is bad luck. Ooh, I like that one. Thanks for finding that one, Adam. And thank you, EAPATBP, whatever username that is. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Cool. And we got some super chats during that. Molly Burge, thank you. Hi, Sapphire, I love your vids. Pyro Zukin, hi, Sapphire, I love the stories you tell. Oh, well, thank you. All this is made possible by listeners like you. All right. Also, if you guys have any of you in the chat seen doppelganger, your own doppelganger? I don't know. There's like a couple like actors and stuff that people have told me I look like, but it's not. I don't think it's like doppelganger status. Anyways, let's get back to the stories. All right, so this next one is from Eureka 2814. Again, I have not read this yet, so I am reacting to this just as you are in real time. Okay. Oh my God. Wow. I really I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the more often I'm on camera, the less I care about how I look. I'm like, you guys have seen me look nice. Now it's like, who cares? Anyways, here we go. Hang on. I need water. I could feel him inside my head, burning, consuming, devouring. I can't say devouring. Devouring. Let's try. Oh boy. He crept through my entire body, dictating all that I did. It was like being constantly buried in sand up to your neck, unable to move your limbs without further entrenching yourself. For 10 years, I felt as if I was always suffocating. I watched him for what seemed like an eternity, living my life in my house with my wife, and each day I thought to myself that I had to get rid of this imposter, this doppelganger that seized me from within and kept me from myself. I had to be rid of the being that had snatched my very existence from my grasp. I tried to reason with him more than once. I begged, I cried, I pleaded, I implored him to release me, but to no avail. He had no intention of relinquishing control of my body. I'm not sure he even realized that the battered man in his dreams was the person he had usurped. Soon I resorted to a more violent attitude. I would shout at him in his sleep, attack him, trying to frighten him into giving up. If he was scared enough, I thought, he might abandon his efforts. I had no luck for a very long time. After a long while, though, he started to get neurotic and paranoid. At this point, he was desperate to keep his stolen body. He would talk to my wife of nightmares, of the feeling that something was haunting him or trying to possess him. He spoke as if I was the problem. It didn't take me long to figure out that he was misdirecting her, that he was using my voice to speak lies. I persisted in my tactics, trying to scare him. It worked by inches. Every time I saw him in the mirror, he looked more exhausted and less well kept. The constant nightmares were taking a physical toll. I was weakening his grip. He became so desperate, in fact, that he began Googling things like demonic possession and poltergeist, looking for help. It was almost sad. There's not a whole lot out there on how to rid yourself of the original tenant of a body. Of course, he didn't find anything, but I did. I saw the things he read and began to get ideas. Slowly, as I pushed against him, I felt him beginning to slip. He started to grow disorganized, paranoid. He quit my job and locked himself in my computer room, perching before a computer monitor as he searched desperately for help. He ruined my life before I could get it back, spending months in that office with the blinds drawn. I think he was trying to discourage me, trying to convince me that the effort wasn't worth it. I had no more job, no more wife, no more money, but I didn't give up. I had spent too long trying. I was gaining ground by miles now. I acquired control of my physical faculties once more. I could wiggle my fingers or toes for moments at a time. After practice, I could speak again, and eventually I learned to walk. He couldn't keep me strangled. This morning, I woke up to realize that he was gone. I had control again. I leapt to my feet and ran around the house in disbelief, tearing open the blinds and tossing things in the air, reveling in a sense of pure ecstasy. I ran a hot shower, enjoying the feeling of the water on my back. When I emerged, I took a moment to breathe the soap-scented air, amazed that I was finally free. Still grinning, I wiped down the foggy mirror with a towel so I could shave, but stopped, dead, the moment the glass was clear. Please, my mouth was saying over and over. I just want my body back. What? That's crazy. All right, I got some super chats in here. Nightmare Files. Oh, thank you for the super chat. 2 super chats? 1. What's happening here? What? Why does it say 2? Nightmare. Oh, it's just showing up twice. That's weird. Hey Snarl, this is not a plug, but you have been a very huge inspiration for me to make videos. I love your channel because you have your own style and really look up to you. Thank you. Aw. Thank you. I think it's funny when people call me Snarled. Like, I'm not the channel. My name is Sapphire. I don't know why I think it's funny when people are like, I don't know. I think it's weird when people refer to me as Snarled just because, like, I'm not. That's not my name. You know what I mean? Anyways. There's something I wanted to say about this and now I forget. Nah, it's fine. All right, so we've got another story. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. I don't know if you guys were here on the stream last week, but for whatever reason, people keep bringing up BTS in the live chat, and if you've noticed, there is no BTS talk today because somebody blocked it. Yeah, I don't know if anybody actually noticed. Oh, that's too funny. Anyways. All right. Well. Great. Sorry. Now I'm distracted by the chat. Anyways. All right, guys. Ready for your last story? Just a quick reminder. If you haven't watched this week's episode, it's up. It's about a Thai ghost story. It's like a really cool, weird story. And I hope you like it. Okay. So our last story is called Nightmare Files, again with the super chat. Thank you. My bad, Sapphire. Is that spelled right? Yes. You did spell my name right. I mean, it doesn't offend me. It's more just like, it feels weird only because like Snarled isn't just, well, I mean, right now it kind of is just me, but like, you know, there's so much other content, so many other creators that were like a part of Snarled. Snarled is like a female collective that was created a couple of years ago, and like, yeah, so it's always weird when people like refer to me like Snarled is my YouTube name, you know what I mean? But yeah, anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm just saying so that you know. All right, here's our last story. This one's called, no, it's not called anything. It's written by a username Love Lasagna. Okay. All right. Again, have not read this yet. So let's see. This happened a few years ago when I was in college. Our school wasn't big or well known. It had 2 branches. The main one, where they taught kids from nursery to grade 6, was located beside the road, and the other, we called it Annex, was located 2 blocks from it. The Annex was where I studied. It had 2 buildings, one for high school and one for college. The high school department was packed with students. It was almost always noisy. Our building, on the other hand, was gloomy, and there were very few students, like only 5 to 10 people in class. If we were lucky, there were 20. Our hallways were quiet. There were rooms that were never occupied. Since no one was using these rooms, the lights were off, and at night I found that really disturbing because I walked through dimly lit corridors when my footsteps echoed. I know, our school didn't seem like what a school should be, but hey, my tuition was free. I was a scholar and only needed to maintain good grades, and the place was just 10 minutes from my home. I had no reason to complain. Anyway, while I was waiting for my next class, I got bored of whatever I was doing and decided to go to the 4th floor. As I was walking up the stairs, I saw my English teacher wearing an orange outfit. I stopped and smiled at her. "Good afternoon, ma'am." I expected her to reply, but she didn't. She didn't even smile or acknowledge me. She just continued walking down the stairs. She passed by me without sparing me a glance. I became worried. Maybe she was angry at me? But what for? I hadn't done anything bad to her. I decided to try and catch her attention again. "Ma'am, are you okay?" No response. It was like she didn't hear me. I frowned. She didn't seem like herself. Weird. But that wasn't weird enough to keep me thinking, so I shrugged it off and thought other stuff. When I passed by the faculty room, I heard a familiar voice. It was so loud and clear, there was no way I could have mistaken it. It was the voice of my English teacher. So I went to the faculty room and found my English teacher behind a desk, telling some random story to my classmate who sat directly in front of her. When she saw me, she smiled and greeted me. You can imagine my confusion at this point. I just saw her a few minutes ago. How was she here? "Ma'am, did you go downstairs a while ago?" She seemed surprised with the question, but answered anyway. "No, why do you ask?" My mind was thinking for a logical explanation, but couldn't find any. I just saw you a few minutes ago. You were taking the stairs. I greeted you, but you ignored me." She frowned. "I've been here the whole time." "Oh, okay, that's weird. I swear I saw you." This time my classmate spoke up. "We've been here for half an hour at least. Nobody left this room." That was when I noticed her clothes. The one I saw at the stairs was wearing an orange outfit. The one in front of me was wearing brown. A sense of dread surged through me. I asked the most obvious question. Then who was the woman I saw? But then I knew the answer to that myself. I had heard stories about these creatures. I just never thought I'd encounter one. And in broad daylight, a doppelganger. This creature copies a person's appearance, and it said that once you see your doppelganger, you'll die. I don't know if that's true. I don't ever want to find out. My teacher freaked out, and we spent the afternoon waiting for the fake English teacher to show up, but it never did. Pretty soon, this little incident was forgotten, and I thought that was the last time I'd encounter something like that. However, my English teacher started acting strange after that, speaking very rarely and mainly keeping to herself. We all thought the whole thing freaked her out, so we let her be. We should have been more concerned. The next incident happened a few months after the first. Again, I saw a nursery teacher standing at the utility closet. Let's call her Teacher Marie. It was pretty late already, so I was wondering why she was still at school. So I called her. She didn't respond. She didn't even seem to hear me. I called again. Nope, I was invisible. I figured she was just tired and wasn't in the mood to have a chat. I went inside the library and saw Hannah. She was an assistant teacher who used to be a college acquaintance and was close friends with Teacher Marie. I casually approached her and asked, "Hey, I saw Teacher Marie at the utility closet. Is she waiting for you so that you two can go home together? She seems tired, and I think she'll appreciate it if you hurry." She raised an eyebrow. "Really? I thought she went home already." Then she gathered her things and exited the library. A few minutes later, she returned. "She's not there," she said. "Oh, maybe she got tired of waiting and left." "No, Kath, she was never there." I frowned and closed the book I was planning to read. "What do you mean she was never there?" "I saw her. Ask the janitor." "I already did." "He didn't see Teacher Marie." "Are you sure it was her?" Her face was dead serious. "I'm sure," I said. "It was definitely her. I called her, but she never looked back." "Shit," she cursed. "You're scaring me." She picked up her phone. I had a burp. She picked up her phone, dialed Teacher Marie's number, and told her what I saw. It was a brief conversation that ended with, "Be careful." Teacher Marie did, and she didn't show up for a whole week. Then finally, she was back in class. But something was different about her. She spoke rarely, just like my English teacher. These doppelgangers must have been really freaking people out. Or maybe they were replacing them? I tried to shake the idea as I continued on with school. Days went by. I hadn't seen a doppelganger again, and I assumed that was the end of it. I wasn't really that scared, but it didn't mean I was eager to repeat the experience. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that the teachers were replaced with a doppelganger somehow. It really freaked me out. One afternoon, as I was chilling out, a classmate of mine approached me and said, "Whoa, how did you get here so fast?" Naturally, I was confused. "What do you mean?" I asked. "I saw you at the other end of the building a few minutes ago. Come to think of it, you seemed a little off. Called you several times, but you just ignored me. Is anything wrong?" I froze. I felt my heartbeat accelerate. "Tina," I said slowly, "I've been here since lunchtime. The person you saw isn't me." She shook her head. "No, it's definitely you. You got the same hair and everything." My blood ran cold. "I swear it isn't me." Her mouth hung open. "Then who?" She stopped right there. She didn't need to ask. She knew the answer already. She heard stories about the creature that went around copying people's faces and the horror that would befall on the ones who unfortunately laid eyes on it. My English teacher didn't see it. Teacher Marie didn't either. Now it was my turn. And I wished I wouldn't, too. I'm hiding back home now. Got a baseball bat ready. I don't want to be replaced like my teachers. I won't let this thing get to me. How many more people are replaced that I hadn't even realized? The school, the whole damn town. I can't trust anyone. I have to remain hidden. And if anyone tries to open my front door, I'll bash their goddamn skull in. Ooh. That's creepy. Oh my god. I'm making myself yawn. Cool. Well, that's all the stories today. Just real quick, if you guys have any story suggestions, I'm always looking for stories. I'm currently looking for Christmas related, Hanukkah related, Kwanzaa related, winter related, anything to do with the holidays, those types of stories. You have any suggestions, or if you have any stories of your own that take place around those times, please send me an email at somethingscary@snarled.com. I am always looking for stories. And make sure that you fill out the form. That there's like an automatic email that is written back to you when you email me, and there's a link to a form. So I can't use your story if you don't sign the form. It's for my own safety. Safety's not the right, I don't know, whatever. Anyways, all right, so I'm gonna say bye to all you people in the chat. Let's see. Shadow Rock Blossoms, Artistic Wolf, Owl Girl, Lori Morgan, Katie Cat, Kiasha Pen, Diane Ampo, Dorothy Wizard, Creepy Horse, Ivy, Evan Tasty Cakes, Asia Shinange, Joel something, Disney Wilder, Peaky Dumb, Bayak Tinsung. Now it's too fast. Okay. Well, I hope you guys have a great Wednesday, and I will see you next week. Send me stories, please. I'm running out. I'm not running out. I don't know anymore. Okay. Bye, oddings.